meeting will be public participation with the Site and Architectural Commission presently. For those using Zoom to participate, there are two icons, chat and raise hand. Please use chat only to report technical issues such as being unable to hear a commission member speaking. Please use raise hand to be recognized by the chair and able to speak to the commission. Only attendees using the Zoom application can use the raise hand option to comment. Participants calling in from a telephone will only be able to listen and cannot provide feedback or public comment. Lastly, when we are not all in the same room, all votes in the meeting must be taken public.
Meeting to order.
Commissioner Glover, present. Commissioner Tam, present. And Chair Conley.
Here.
And Commissioner Srivastava is absent.
Do we have any communications? Anybody online?
Hands are raised for. Just move on an item that's not on the agenda.
Any written communications?
Just what was received.
I'm sure everyone read the minutes thoroughly and the chair. A motion to approve the minutes from the last meeting.
I move to approve the minutes. And sir, can I suggest just opening it up for public comment in case there's anybody that wishes to make a comment on this specific item?
Oh, yes. Does anyone in the public here have a question or comment, specific item on the minutes from last month? Seeing none.
No hands are raised.
No, okay. Did you second it?
I second it.
Or it takes a roll call?
Commissioner Waller? Yes. Commissioner Tam? Yes. Chair Conley?
Yes.
Motion passes.
We've got this site development application 2024349, 15577 Kavin Lane. Staff, would you please introduce it and give us the comments?
Yes, thank you. This is an application for a site development permit for a detached accessory structure that is approximately 200 square feet at 1557 Kavin Lane. The existing house is located towards the middle of the lot, and the detached accessory structure is located in the backyard. The structure is existing and was constructed without proper permits. This site development permit application would be the first step in legalizing the structure. And if approved by the commission tonight, the property owner would need to obtain the proper building permits for the structure. Staff recommends that the site development permit be approved with the conditions included attached to the staff report. And that concludes the staff report. I'm happy to answer any questions.
Do any commissioners have questions of the staff?
I do, yes. What are the conditions that need to be met? The plans weren't completely clear, although just eyeballing the site plan, I don't have a particular concern about the structural or impervious coverage. We will be asking for more detail on that with the building permit, and so there is a condition related to that. And then pretty much our standard conditions, but when the permit expires, that the hours of construction and the exterior materials have to match the proposed plans. So just pretty much mostly the standard conditions.
Okay, so this structure already exists, correct? And it was not built with permits.
Correct.
Does it meet the setback requirements?
It does. It meets both the setback and the height.
Okay, and then so are they remodeling it or bringing it up to code to be an ADU?
So it's just a shed.
Oh, okay.
It's not an ADU. It's just going to continue to be used as a shed at this point.
Okay.
That's the proposal.
Okay. Oh, so and it matches the materials, so it meets everything else, the materials. Yes. Okay. Okay. That wasn't clear on that. Thank you.
You have any questions, Nora?
I have no questions. It looks like it in they're kind of renovating the this detached accessory structure in the same area that the current shed is in. And, you know, we're not cutting down any trees, and it meets the appropriate setback, so I'm okay with it.
Okay, is the applicant here? Applicant have a chance to pitch his case, so there's no questions to the applicant. We'll open the public hearing. Anyone in the public interested in speaking on this?
No hands are raised.
No hands are raised. We'll close the public hearing.
Good question. Diana, do we need any other formal plans to move forward with this, or because it's not an ADU, or just accessory structure or shed, we don't need any other formal kind of architectural plans or?
So, if approved, the property owner will need to submit construction plans to the building department, and so more detailed plans.
And that's the intent.
Correct, yes.
So can we close the public hearing? Public hearing is closed. Do we have any additional questions of the staff?
I do not.
Do you have any discussion you want to make? On the three of us.
I think it sounds like if we decide to move forward, then the applicant will need to submit an actual request for the formal permits, and at that point we'll see more, I guess, formal plans on the details.
Correct, that will be submitted to the building department.
If it is an accessory dwelling unit,
Then it wouldn't have come to the commission, it would have just gone straight to the building.
okay. All right.
The chair would welcome a motion to approve site application 2024349, subject to the conditions on the draft of the approval that the city has provided us.
I'll make that motion.
Okay, will you second that one?
Second.
Roll call vote, please.
Commissioner Wilder,
Yes.
Commissioner Tam, and Chair Conley.
Yes. The second item on the agenda is application 2025304, site development permit, including a variance or additions to the home. Would the staff give us a presentation and comments in this regard?
Yes, thank you. As you mentioned, this is an application for a site development permit to allow a single-story addition of approximately 829 square feet, as well as a second-story addition of approximately 1,289 square feet at 17951 Saratoga Los Gatos Road. This project does also include a variance request to allow a second-story setback, side yard setback of approximately 22 feet, where 25 feet is required. The project proposes demolishing the back portion of the house, which is a one-story height, and reconstructing this area, as well as an addition at the second floor. The proposed exterior materials for the addition will match those of the existing house, which includes horizontal siding and a dark gray composition roof. There are no trees proposed for removal with this application, and there is no new landscaping proposed either. The existing house was constructed before the city of Monte Sereno was incorporated in 1957, and it does not meet the current side yard setback requirements. The existing garage, carport, and second story area that is above the garage are located completely within the required side yard setback. So the variance is being requested in order for the existing second story portion of the house to be connected to the proposed second story portion of the house. A variance is intended to address practical difficulties of a lot, which has characteristics that result in unnecessary hardships or result in inconsistencies with the general purpose of the zoning district, and make the zoning standards unusually difficult to meet based on the unique circumstance of the lot. Although the additional second story area, which is subject to the variance application, it would not be visible from either side yard neighbor. However, the required findings in order to grant a variance are based on a unique condition of the lot and not the actual building. As described in the staff report, staff does not believe that there is a unique condition of the lot to justify the variance. Because this application does include a variance, the action by the commission tonight is a recommendation to the city council. The project is scheduled for the city council meeting on August 19th for a final determination, but the staff recommendation is that the commission recommend to the city council to approve the site development permit, but not the variance application. And if there are any questions, I'd be happy to answer them.
Yes, I'm very confused about,
Okay.
about where this variance, where on the structure is this variance?
Lacey is gonna pull up the plans.
Okay. Cause I couldn't tell, it was kind of hard to tell from.
It is hard to tell. So on the second plan sheet. So that is the existing site plan, and if you can scroll down to the bottom of the sheet. So this is the proposed site plan. You can see. This is the existing second floor.
Okay,
And it's entirely within the setback. This is the required second story setback.
okay.
So the new addition would be required to come to here, which would leave about 2.5 feet gap between the existing second story and the proposed. So the total area of the variance is about 22 square feet. And it would be hidden between
Oh, I see.
the second story additions. It really wouldn't be visible.
I see, okay, okay.
You can see it's just that little.
But just that little square, that rectangular right there, okay. And that would be to connect it with the,
Existing second story area.
okay. Is there a second story on that garage?
Yes,
And is that like a bonus room or?
it's noted as a family room.
Okay. Oh, okay, that's where that is. So that's gonna be like a staircase, maybe?
A portion of it would.
Okay.
Well, I'm sorry, a portion of what the existing family room would be.
Would be a staircase, and then this would be like.
And it's just kind of, Lizzie, if you wouldn't mind to scroll down a couple more pages to the floor plan.
Yeah, I was just trying to make sense of.
This is it. And then you can see the area with the diagonal lines.
Yeah.
That's the area of kind of proposed variance.
Got it, okay.
Just so that the 2 second floors can be more.
Thank you. I do have a couple other questions. Is the second story itself minus the variance conforming to objective standards?
Yes,
Are there any privacy concerns with neighbors?
we have not heard from him. We've had the neighbors, only the one, written comment that we had received and distributed that was in support.
Was in support of, is it someone who lives next door?
No, not next door.
So I know that there have been issues in the past about if, people worried about privacy. If there's gonna be windows on that second story, and I know that we have required some people to have smaller windows. So that they're, if they're looking down over somebody's property. Is that something that is required on this?
So,
I think that's in our building requirements, no?
so the setback for both side yards is pretty, it's 25 feet as a second story. And then, there is some existing landscaping.
Okay, so privacy, I think, been an issue. Okay, I think that's, those are my questions for right now. Thank you.
I have no question.
So I'm clear, the variance is required because they're connecting the new second story to the old second story. True or false?
It's true. That is the proposal. Yes.
So they can go ahead and build this, but can't connect the new to the old because of the yard difference between them. It does require that is the variance, an additional staircase. We have to go downstairs from the upstairs and go across another staircase to get to the non-conforming structure. You okay?
I think for me, as long as there's no, privacy concern from the neighbors, which unfortunately is not heard back from. I'm okay with it. And ideally we have, some feedback from, some neighbors on, the parcels that could potentially be viewed upon from the windows, but we don't have that feedback, correct, Diana?
Correct.
So why don't we then go and open, ask the applicant if he would like to come up and talk with us about it, and 5 minutes. On the clock.
I'm Marcy McDonough, I'm the architect, and you really won't see any of the front will look exactly like it looks now, because because you're so much lower on the street, from the street, you will not know there is an addition, I don't believe. And I think you get the gist of the problem is that we need to connect these two. And so if we can't get this variance, in no world will they ever be able to have a second story, unless you go down the stairs and up the stairs, kind of Winchester mystery style, which to me is unacceptable. So I guess I understand that it's by the letter of the rule, it's a building, not a site problem, but it is an existing problem that is unsolvable. And so we're just asking for your mercy, and so that they can do a second story. I think do you have any more questions for me? Seems like you understand the problem, and it's just such a little, it's like that much.
Does the commission have any questions of the applicant? The architect applicant?
Well, I mean, I'm just curious, knowing the situation, why it was designed that way. I mean, I'm just curious if you didn't have other options.
Well, there would be no, in no world can you do a second story addition and connect it to the existing second story. There is no way to do it.
And this existing second story is over the garage,
Yeah. Like you can't,
and how do we get to that now?
you have a set of stairs. It'll be there's a set of stairs inside the house, like next to the garage, and they're non-conforming stairs, so I wanted to fix those. So that's why those changed a little bit. So I redesigned those and then wanted to connect to the new second story through that 2-foot wide gap. The only way you could do a second story without a variance would be 2 sets of stairs, and they would not be connected spaces. Like you'd be going down the stairs and up the stairs, which I think is problematic as far as a cohesive home and the flow of a home. And then the other option would not have, there is no second story option if there's no variance in my mind.
I mean, this is the only second story there is, it's just a family room upstairs, is that because the only second story?
Yeah.
The rest of the home is.
Yeah, right now it's a 1-story except for the room above the garage, and then there's a deck over the carport.
Okay, and so part of the residence is gonna be torn down in the back?
Yeah.
And are those the existing like bedrooms, and then they're gonna be moved upstairs?
The tear down is less about, we're rebuilding square footage back. It's just that it's a 1-story and it makes a lot of sense to just rebuild it. We're gonna use the same platform that exists for a lot of the first floor, but we're gonna need more foundation, and the walls are not quite the right height. Because we have to match the height of the second story of above the garage, which is taller. It just didn't make sense to leave those walls up. But essentially, we're kind of using some of the same footprint.
Okay, and then this house was built prior to Monte Sereno being
Is it
incorporated?
20s?
Yes.
And so, I mean, was the second story on the garage built later?
I think it was, I don't know when it was built, but it doesn't seem like it was part of the
original
home.
And is that a permitted structure?
It was not permitted by Monte Sereno because it was existing before.
Okay, okay.
And I actually have been here before for this house, and I made it a lot better than it was before, with the new railing over the deck, and so I think it's been improved from the original state it was in.
Thank you.
Did you consider tearing down the non-conforming part and building a second floor?
We did not, because it seems wasteful to tear down something that exists. And also, we would not be able to tear down the garage portion because we have to have a covered garage. We tore that down, I don't know what would happen.
Well, if you could put a second story in the house and eliminate that non-conforming piece, take it off and put it down. Possibly.
Well, I guess we could eliminate we'd have to re-roof the first floor because we cannot remove the garage. Because we need covered parking by planning, even though it's in a non-conforming spot. I guess we could put a garage somewhere else, but I don't think we'd want to do that.
Did you consider not putting anything on the second story and adding to what seems to me, you got a very deep lot, and the amount of square footage you're adding could be added to the extension that you're building on the back, another 800 feet. And then everybody's conforming and you still have stairs to get up to the non-conforming.
Yeah, that is a consideration. My clients really wanted to capitalize on the beautiful views on the second floor. That's of the mountains all around them. So that was the motivation for going up. And then also with the single story addition, it becomes a real, I mean, it's a big lot, but 25-foot setbacks. And I think the 12 and a half, you don't have that much space in that center core to build in, and it becomes really long and linear, like a really long hallway when you start adding the bedrooms that they had wanted to.
Well, it's possible.
It's possible. Yes.
Interview, any more questions of?
I don't, I appreciate this.
Yeah.
So thank you.
No, if you okay, your question, we will open the public hearing. Is there anyone here that will speak on
If I may add, Commissioner. So we spoke to both our neighbors in terms of the I'm the applicant for the home, so we spoke to both the neighbors, we walked them through the plan, we showed them, so they didn't have any concerns if privacy was a concern. And first floor was definitely, just a single floor was definitely a consideration. As Marcy mentioned, just the amount of distance to walk down would have been larger, and the lot slopes down. And today there's existing landscaping and structures that's already built in, and there are trees in the back that will have to be cut down to make things more usable in the back. There's eucalyptus trees all the way in the back, but that's the reason we wanted to avoid it and try to reuse the second floor instead, if that's permitted.
anyone else in the public want to talk about this in the back?
Oh, no, we're good for it. No hands are raised.
Raised. We can close the public hearing. It's closed. Do we have any additional questions of the staff? I
Yeah.
do.
Okay.
You do?
No, I don't have any more questions for Diana, but I'm ready to discuss.
Did you consider any other alternatives relative to this? Was that one of your discussions about not building on the second floor, tearing down the other piece, building on the second floor, adding in the back?
No, we did work with the architect of the sort of difficulty of making the variance findings versus the practicality of the actual area of the variance.
There's
It's
a lot,
a
yeah.
very unique circumstance.
Okay, commission discussion next. Liz?
Well, like I said, I appreciate the challenge you have as an architect to make a space fit and work. And obviously you want to enjoy your property, so I appreciate that. My concern is because it is pretty clear, it's very clear what qualifies for a variance. I am concerned about setting a precedent for other properties. And having served on council before, I know that this can happen. So, if we make an exception in this case, then there's going to be more people wanting to make exceptions elsewhere, especially when it doesn't actually meet the criteria that is set up clearly in our building codes. So with that, I'm of the mind to take our city manager and city planner's direction on this, and keep in mind it will go to council, who will ultimately make the final ruling, and they might find something different. But at this point, that's my concern, is just setting a precedent for others.
I agree with you, and, yeah, I'm also curious if there were any other alternatives considered. concern is also that, once they, a variance is, if should it, be approved, then it sets the precedent for other, other variance, requests, and that it just opens up a can of worms and.
Yeah, it creates a liability. If nothing more, just the defense of it. My feeling is we've got to play by the rules. And I don't feel confident that all the alternatives have been exhausted. And I don't think I can approve the variance in this instance when there are alternatives available to get the square footage they need. And make this site good site. Any other?
No. Don't make a motion.
You can make a motion with regard to application 2025-3034.
I make a motion to recommend to city council that they approve the site development permit with the condition that the second story addition comply with the setback requirements and deny the variance for a reduced second story setback.
I second.
All those in favor? Roll call.
Commissioner Waller,
Yes.
Commissioner Tam?
Yes.
And Chair Conley.
Yes.
So, as previously mentioned, this item is scheduled for the August 19th city council meeting.
I have a question. So, let's say the city council denies the variance. We redesign the whole thing, because that's what we will be doing if that is denied. Let's say we end up with a single story. Do we come back here again, or?
If the addition is over 750 square feet. Yes.
So do we have to do all the same fees, or what?
We can talk about
Is
it.
it a revision?
Yeah.
Like
We can figure it out.
dealing with the.
Yeah.
Okay.
We can figure it out.
The next item on the agenda is tentative map on Palos Verdes Drive, application 2025-3042. Questions and answers on this and staff review?
Yes, very good. Thank you. This is a tentative parcel map application to subdivide one lot on Palos Verdes into two lots. The existing lot is double the size of the other lots on the block and double the size required for the zoning district in which it's located. The two proposed lots will meet the minimum lot area and the minimum frontage length along the street, which is required by the zoning code. It will also match the size and shape of the other lots on the block. The proposed plans do include conceptual drawings for the future houses and the grading of the site. This is provided for information only at this point. If the parcel map application is approved, a separate site development permit would need to be submitted for any new house on the lots. The final decision on this tentative parcel map application will also be made by the city council, and this item is scheduled also for the August 19th city council meeting. Staff recommends that the commission recommend that the city council approve the tentative parcel map application. That completes the staff report, and I'm happy to answer any questions.
Are there any questions of the staff on this in this regard?
I'm just curious, why not an SB9 lot split?
The applicant might be able to answer that more specifically, but the SB9 lot split would require the current owner to maintain residence in one of the two houses for a period of 3 years.
And they don't look.
Also, I believe you cannot demolish an existing house. Got it, of SB 9.
Okay. I mean, the only reason I ask is because I know that once an SB lot split happens, it can't be split again. So just thinking down the road. Okay, that was.
I know this parcel pretty well, and I have a question about, the trees that are existing that plan to be removed. I'm trying to understand, the plan to, replant new tree, because I believe that the trees that I see that are planning to be, removed and excavated, some are actually healthy and, are pretty established.
So, I should have mentioned that when I mentioned the plans and the grading. That also includes the trees shown for removal are preliminary, and just for reference at this point, it will be reviewed, as part of a site development permit application for the new houses.
I like the fact that they considered, the water retention on the site. So, any questions we can open the public hearing, anyone? Is the applicant here? You're welcome to come on up and say something. Incline.
We just wanted to keep the law.
You already know.
We love working with the city of Monte Sereno, and we just wanted to actually keep the lot similar to the entire neighborhood. So, someone did propose to us to not only do the lot split, but to do 4 homes, an additional SB9 split, and we chose not to go down that path. We want to be cohesive with the neighborhood. We want the neighbors to love us and the city. So hopefully our design, our proposal, it meets all the requirements, and we can move forward and start to build 2 homes and have 2 happy families move into it. That's all. Any questions for me?
And do you have those plans for the homes already, or those are in the concept right now?
We do have the initial floor plans that we sent those.
Correct, so yeah, our municipal code is a little unique and has a little bit of a different process than most cities for lot splits. We do require that the lot split be applied for separately from any potential development plans, whereas a lot of cities will take the applications together. And although any potential development is not approved on the lot split, our municipal code does require that preliminary or conceptual plans be provided, although this action would not be an approval of those.
Right.
So we'll be back up at this essentially for those.
This is just the beginning.
Yes.
Any other questions of the applicant?
I have no further questions.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Are there any other, there are no members of the public? Do we have anybody online? Other hands raised?
No hands raised.
And we can, close the public hearing. Do we have additional comments or, questions of the staff? No? Any further discussion? My comment on the discussion is that I think that this is an incredible gift to the neighborhood. Is it it's disproportionate, it's hidden away, the frontage isn't as appealing as many of them are. And I would think the neighbors would applaud the decision to go ahead with this project. And that's why I'm for it. So, any questions?
I agree. I mean, I'm just looking at the AutoCAD drawings, and I think that if you understand the neighborhood, it's gonna fit in, it's gonna be a huge improvement from what's there now, so, it looks like it'll be a nice addition, so.
Exactly, I think I know the neighbor next door as well, and, across the street, and I think, just elevating, this, you know, dual lot will really just improve the appeal of the neighborhood, and I'm pretty excited for this project.
So, I thought you did a great job with your presentation. Thank you. Oh, everybody's doing this, but you were poised. Chair would entertain a motion to recommend this tentative map to the city council. Application 2025 3042. Is there a motion to approve this and pass it through to city council?
I motion to approve. I'll second that.
Commissioner Waller?
Yes.
Commissioner Tam? And Chair Conley.
Yes.
The motion passes.
With that, is there any business anywhere?
If we have a moment to talk about, not on the agenda, but I'd like to have it on another agenda.
Sure.
Zone 0. Requirements by the state, potentially. I think we need to have a discussion about that and how it would impact.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. We'll end the meeting and I'll tell you about.
Okay. All right, the chair will accept a motion to adjourn. All those in favor? Maybe if-